What's going on, gang? It's me, your boy Al, over here at One Man Indie, and I am back with yet another video, I guess. This is actually about a new monthly challenge that I did for this year. Now, I actually was supposed to have done this, I think, a couple of years back, but for some reason or another, I don't know if I chickened out or maybe I got sick. I have no idea, but I just didn't do it. There are actually a couple of videos for the playlist. It should be, well, there's one video that I did for the challenge when I meant to do it, and then that was it. And then there's a new video that I just did earlier this month, actually on the 1st. So I want to officially welcome you to JulYtem, and JulYtem is where I take 31 prompts and within 31 days try to make 31 new items. So this is going to be the first week of it, so I hope you like it. This shouldn't be too long because it's only like about a week, but it's a different kind of challenge, so I hope you guys enjoy it, and let me know what you think about it down in the comment section down below. I will see you guys in a little bit. So the very first prompt I got was run, the actual word run. And I was thinking, okay, well, Kandris is a world of like ice and snow, so running is not going to be a very easy thing to do. So I just kind of just played around with the concept of it, the process of running, and then I kind of went with maybe the idea of movement, of fast movement or quick movement, and I kind of stumbled upon this idea of parkour, and like because I thought about like how the people who do it, like how they're very masterful with the movement, they're agile, they're timing it right and everything else, and they just have a freedom of movement and how to get around terrain and everything else like that. And I almost went with that until I kind of thought that Kandris is not really prone to having cities. So, I mean, it's more like towns, settlements, stuff like that. So nothing really, I guess, big enough or necessary enough for you to kind of have that. Maybe I might have it later. I don't know. So I was kind of thinking of maybe of having like some kind of weird skating type of thing, like a sport or whatever like that. And I kind of saw that I guess wind skating and wind skiing are already things already, and I was like, okay, I don't want to really do that. And so I just kept thinking about it, and then for some reason or another, I just had this image from Lord of the Rings of Legolas walking on the snow while everybody else is like struggling to get through and everything. He's just walking on it like it just didn't even faze him. And because of that, once I was able to go through a few generations, thanks to Midjourney and ChatGPT, now we have this particular item right here. Okay, so now the prompt for this day was the word yellow, and I was like, yellow? What? So it literally was a color. So at first I was kind of thinking of maybe gold in terms of maybe like a coin or a type of ore or something like that. But seeing as how I'd already used like a mineral for day one's prompt, I figured, okay, let's try something else. I was thinking, okay, well, maybe yellow could be the color of something on a particular tool or something like that. And then I started really going into it. If we're going with a tool, what kind of a tool would really be necessary here? What would help? And then I started thinking of candles. I said, okay, well, a candle, that does make sense, but why would I need a candle? For what would it be useful for? And like, where would they get the candle from? I mean, I guess they could get it from animal fat, but then I remembered that I have termites. These are the kind of like termite slash ant colony insects that live underground roundabout in the region of White Peaks. If you don't remember it, you probably would have seen it from this video right here at the top. I thought about it. I said, okay, well, if we had these insects and they have a colony, then they probably may have wax. And I actually saw that termites actually do have a kind of wax. I figured, okay, so why would this particular wax be helpful or useful? So then I thought about it some more. I was like, okay, well, what if it that when you burn this particular candle made from this wax, it changes color based on what's in the air down below? So this is something that for people who may be delving down into the Nether Night, my version of, I guess, the Underdark or the Fade Dark. And you know, when you go underneath the ground, there's always something down there. It really made me think of the phrase canary in the coal mine. You know, the canary in the coal mine was used if there was some kind of a dangerous gas down there, and if the canary died first, then it was a good idea to get out of there. So I kind of translated that to this, and it actually is a yellow candle. And the flame of the candle changes depending on what kind of gases may be down there, whatever pheromones may be released by any kind of creatures, stuff like that. So it basically helps those underground know what's coming, or at least be aware of what's happening. And so using that, I help that or use that to create this item. Okay, so now for day 3, we got the term stapler. And I had to really kind of do a weird kind of a lot of mental gymnastics to try to make this make sense or make it fit within the world of Kandris. So it wasn't really all that hard. The word stapler came to mind, then went to staple gun. So then, okay, if it's gonna be a staple gun, okay, we can actually make it into an actual staple gun, but why would this particular staple gun be necessary? And so I thought of the Druga. The Druga are the dwarves of this particular world. And they, you know, they do work underground, and they probably could use it for maybe stapling or putting iron. Well, I have like these kind of staples that you're probably seeing it right now. It's like 3-pronged, kind of like, well, I call them staples, but they're kind of like, I guess you call them spikes or whatever. And so they could probably stick them in the ground, probably use it for climbing, securing certain things, whatever. And so I went through a couple of generations here, and then I took what was there from the generation, went into Photoshop and edited it up. So we have a bigger version, which is kind of like I guess you can more look like a shotgun kind of version of it, because it actually shoots the spikes out like an actual firearm. And I even made a convenient little hand version where you can wield with one hand with smaller versions of these staples. That leads us to this. So for prompt number 4, we get the word quiet. And quiet had me thinking for a second. I was like, quiet. Why is quiet so important? And then I had this idea of like a person sitting down in, like, say, a meditative pose, just, you know, relaxing, chilling, just deep in meditation. And then I was like, well, what could happen while that person is thinking? And then I said, well, what kind of an item works here? And then the first thing that came to me was Tome of the Ascetic. I believe it's pronounced ascetic. Yes, it's called ascetic. And then I said no. And I looked at the term ascetic to make sure I got it correctly in my head and said, no, that's not gonna work. But then I really thought about it. I said, hold on a second, wait a minute. Why not just have a book that, you know, while you're sitting down meditating, whatever thoughts that are coming to your mind actually get translated to the book? And this is something that you could, I guess, maybe read for later, study for later. Other people can study your thoughts and everything else, like, and maybe learn from you. It can also expand. So depending on how long and how many meditations you have a living record of your thoughts, and it could be the thoughts over a lifetime. And I think that would be a valuable item for, like, say, an order of monks or whatever, right? So because of that and that particular thought process, I figured we could call it this. So jump is the prompt that we got for today. And jump literally got the jump on me in terms of ideas and concepts. but this wasn't really all that much, wasn't all that hard. Like, well, it was the same thing what I had with stapler. So the first thing that came to mind was a spring. And so, okay, well, a spring, okay, got it, but what can we do with this? So then I guess at some point or another, the idea of a snake leaping out at a person and biting them and everything else like that. So, okay, well then what I did was I kind of combined those two ideas, and from that I came up with this. Now for today, well, not today, but this particular day, the prompt was brick. And I was like, brick? What in the hell am I gonna do with the word brick? So at first, because the Druga actually, they express their power through use of runes. They carve runes into like objects, into walls. So at first, I almost went with kind of, I guess it would have been a lazier way of doing it, of making maybe a ward keystone. Like that's something that actually you have like a doorway. They have like different runes, and then you have the keystone that activates whatever effect was written within the other runes or whatever. I kind of went with that, or with an actual brick that goes into a wall that has some runes written into it that gives the wall some kind of an effect. And I was like, well, maybe. But I saw an image from this video, and I'm gonna put it on the screen right now, is what really kind of turned this idea completely all the way around. And when I thought about it, I actually came up with an actual an object that when thrown, it activates the effect written into it. So like say it could be like an ice bomb or a thunder bomb, fire, whatever it could be. And so with this particular thought in mind, now we have this. Okay, not a lot of footage for this particular one, but the prompt for this day was loud. Kind of had me for a second because I was thinking I didn't want to go with anything really obvious like a megaphone, like a bomb, another bomb, because I just got through doing it yesterday. So I was like, loud. What could be loud? So I kind of started thinking about what's associated with loudness or with the word loud. And I guess the word volume came to mind. And I was thinking about maybe something that would make a quiet space. But I was like, that doesn't make any sense, because I already did that with the with the other item back earlier. So I was like, nah, that doesn't make any sense. And then I was like, huh. At first I was thinking about volume in terms of actual like weight, space, like space-time, something that would take up space, whatever. Then I said, wait a minute, hold on. The word volume also can refer to a book. So seeing as how it can refer to that, that led me to coming up with this. That is 7 prompts giving me 7 items, and this was pretty fun. I'm surprised that I wasn't able to do this when I meant to do it, and I for the life of me, I cannot figure out the reason why I was not able to do it. But you know, hey, life just gets in the way sometimes. But I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, please hit that thumb, subscribe, ring the bell, ring it again. Make sure you get all the notifications so the algorithm can bless your boy and my channel can continue to grow, but more importantly, so you can follow along with this particular challenge. Hey, we're in the first week. If you want to participate in the challenge, feel free to do so. JulYtem isn't just for me, it can be for everybody. So if there's some items that you want to make for, I guess, for your setting or a game or a story, whatever you want to do, no time like the present. Let's make JulYtem a thing and see what you can come up with. And let me know. Either put it in the comment section down below, or since I'll have this video kind of posted up on my socials, just at me and let me know. I'd love to shout it out and like give you a thumbs up. So if you enjoyed this, please continue to follow me. We got the first week done. I'll be looking forward to seeing whatever you guys come up with. Again, Let me know in the comments down below. Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed the content, please support this channel by liking, subscribing, and ringing the notification bell for more. Thank you.